Welcome to the GrayHawk DJC podcast. Today we talk with Robert Joslin, owner of Blue Star Truck Accessories and Joslin Dent Concepts in Prosper, Texas. We hope you enjoy the podcast. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing well,
Thank you for coming to the show.
Yes, thanks for coming to the shop.
Sure,
Appreciate
no problem. So, I guess the first thing, I want to ask you is, so you're the owner of Blue Star Truck Accessories, right?
Yes.
And so what's your background? Where'd you come from? Tell us about yourself.
I was born and raised in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. I have 3 children,
Okay.
2 girls, a boy, and 1 grandson.
Okay.
And they're all a blessing.
So what part of Arkansas are you from then?
Fort Smith.
Fort Smith? Okay.
Yeah.
Were you there your whole life? Or?
Been there my whole life.
All right.
Until I come down here.
Okay. How long were you in Arkansas for, I guess?
Well, I actually still live there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So wait, you don't live in the DFW area?
I live here during the week.
Okay.
So I drive home. Well, I drive to, this is my home.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is a teacher.
Okay.
And Texas and Arkansas don't, so all her years teaching the state of Arkansas and the state of Texas don't have an agreement. So she would lose her retirement.
I see. Okay.
So she has a few years left to finish that up.
Mm-hmm.
And because we can't afford to lose that for our retirement.
So you literally drive back every weekend?
I drive back. We close at 2 on Saturday.
Okay.
So I leave here about 2:30.
Uh-huh.
It's about a 4-hour drive.
Okay.
And then I drive back. I try to drive back on Monday morning, but we've been pretty busy here lately, so I've been coming back Sunday night.
Wow. So you only see them for like maybe a day and a half,
No,
if that?
a day.
A day?
Yeah.
Wow. And how long have you been doing this for?
3 years.
Okay. So what brought you to the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
So I was working for another hill company.
Okay.
I was working for Hunter Rock.
Okay.
And he had a hill shop in Frisco. So, originally it was in Plano, right off Preston.
Mm-hmm.
And I came down in the end of 17.
Okay.
And was working for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it down here. And I thought, I'm kind of ready for a change.
Okay.
And I fell in love with Prosper. It's got a small town feel to it.
Sure.
But you can be right in the middle of everything you want in 20 minutes,
Right.
So I'm glad to be here.
So coming from Arkansas, how'd you feel about Dallas? Was it?
I've always liked Dallas.
Okay. So you've been here before then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing I wanted to be when I was a young boy was a Dallas Cowboy. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're all Cowboys fans here, obviously.
Yeah.
But you just came out of the blue, right? You just decided to come here because of the job, or
I came down here to work.
Okay.
And just one thing led to another. I like there's lots to do here.
Mm-hmm.
It's different than at home. Had the opportunity, a lot more opportunities.
Okay.
Business wise, and just ready for a change.
Okay.
So
So you're working for the other dent shop.
Mm-hmm.
What made you leave that and I guess start this? Like, how did that start?
I've worked for myself since 2000.
Okay.
And I guess.
What were you doing, I guess?
In 2000, I opened up a body shop in Fort Smith.
Okay.
And I'd had that till 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I decided to get into the hail repair portion of the business.
Did you know anything about repairing vehicles before then? Like, what made you want to start a company, I guess?
The money? No. What compelled me to do it? Just working for myself.
Right. You didn't want to work for anybody else?
I was working, I started at a body shop in 94,
Mm-hmm.
washing cars.
Okay.
I started my family at a young age,
Mm-hmm.
and I was working at Walmart in the sporting goods department, making $5.15 an hour, and a dime raise every year wasn't going to cut it.
Right.
You know, and I wanted to build a mini truck, and I had a buddy that did body work and paint, and the shop that he was working for needed a detail guy.
Okay.
So I started there. They paid me $5.50 an hour.
Okay.
So I had a big raise. You
Awesome.
know? Yeah. And so one thing led to another. When I was caught up from washing cars and whatnot, I would help the body guys.
Okay.
And so that's how all this started.
So that's where you learned your craft and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you there for, I guess?
I was there for 7 years.
All right. And then you started to think, I can do this on my own, right? Or how did that start?
Yeah, I thought I could be better. You know, the grass is greener on the other side scenario. And my dad helped me.
Okay.
We were very fortunate. He actually took a second mortgage out on his house.
Awesome. Oh,
And
wow.
so I could buy the equipment. And so I was very grateful for that.
Okay.
At the same time, it was a lot of pressure.
Yep.
You know, you're 24 years old and you got your dad and stepmom's house riding on you.
Right.
You know, it's enough pressure to just make it at all.
Right.
Much less, you know, if you fail, potentially, you know, they could lose their house.
Right.
So they took a big gamble with me, and I'll never forget it.
So what was that first shop called?
Joslin Collision.
Okay. And how long did that last for, I guess?
13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
And then you decided to come to Dallas.
Well, in 2013, I got into the hail part.
Okay.
I went to Columbia, Missouri to work with a friend of mine,
Okay.
Ted Holverson, and he got me into the business.
Okay. But
Yeah.
was that business still running while you were in Missouri? Or did that
No,
close?
I shut it down.
Shut it down? Okay.
Yeah. I just got burnt out.
Okay.
Didn't think that it was we were direct repair for a couple of insurance companies, and it has its good things and it has its bad side to it.
Okay.
The good side is they send you work.
Right.
The bad side is they send you work, and they know they send you work, and
I see.
you can lose 30-40% of your business overnight if someone in the hierarchy somewhere sees you as a number and they don't want to do business with you anymore. You can lose 30-40% of your business in one night, and I thought that was a horrible business model.
Right.
Not to mention that our town in Fort Smith's a blue collar town.
Right.
It's a great place to raise a family. It's just hard to make money.
Right.
It's one of the cheapest places to live, but it's hard to make money. And I wasn't ready to reinvest. I was at the point where I needed to either go all in or step away.
Okay.
And I decided that I wanted to step away.
Okay. So how long were you in Missouri for?
A year and a half.
Just needed a break, I guess.
Well, I was working. I was training.
Okay.
And I was working, and I was doing the R&I, the removal, and then taking the headliners down, taking the lights out.
Okay.
For Ted, and then and helping him with stuff. And then when I wasn't, kind of the same thing as when I was washing cars. When I wasn't busy, I could train pushing dents.
Okay.
So I did. I worked there with him for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And then I went to Detroit.
Oh, wow.
Worked up there.
Okay.
Actually, it's close to Pontiac more than Detroit.
Sure.
It's in the metro.
Well, that's a big change of venue, right? Going up there. So how's Michigan?
It was great. It was in the summertime, and the weather, it was in August, and back in Arkansas and Texas, it's scorching hot.
Right.
And it's 80 degrees there with a little bit of humidity, not what we face down here.
Right.
The weather in the evening, you put a hoodie on, sleep with the window up, and that was great.
So what were you doing in Michigan again?
Hail repair.
Hail repair. Okay. How long were you up in Michigan for?
I was there for about 3-4 months.
3-4 months. Okay.
Yeah.
So after Michigan, what happened to you?
It hailed in Bentonville, which is an hour from my house.
Okay.
And I knew a guy. His name's Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
They have a couple shops up there.
Okay.
And they had a hailstorm come through. So they let me take care of their hail damage for them.
Oh, okay. So you came back down to Arkansas.
Came back down.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was there a couple of years.
I see.
And then in 16, I hailed in Fort Smith. We worked in Shreveport that year. It had a big hailstorm in Fort Smith. When it hails there, it's usually baseball-sized stuff. This seems light.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that 16, and then 17 I came down here at the end of 17.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I towards the end of 18 is when I leased this building.
Okay.
So we've been here.
So sometime between 2017 and 18, you decided I want to start my own company again.
Well, I had started Joslin Dent Concepts early because I was working as an independent contractor.
Okay.
So I just wanted to get another building.
Okay.
And go that route.
Okay. So you became a contractor first, but you were Joslin Dent Concepts.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this business, everybody pretty much works as an independent contractor.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though you're working for somebody else, you're working for yourself.
I see.
As an independent contractor.
So you're not hired by them. You're by yourself, or you're basically a contractor.
They're subletting the business out.
I see. Okay.
Just for an example, a dealership gets hit.
Mm-hmm.
They have 400 units. No way you can do that yourself.
Right.
So you call in 10, 11, 12 guys, how many ever, that are needed to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're not hiring them on a permanent basis. It's just for that gig.
I see. Okay.
And, they all have, most of them are either a DBA or they're incorporated, and for tax purposes, because you need to write off your hotel and travel expenses and all that stuff. That's kind of how it works.
So you're telling me there's a group of people around the country that are just kind of on call whenever people need you?
It's around the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I never knew that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's 2018, and then you find this place? Is that how it worked?
Yep. Yeah. I contacted a realtor and looked at a lot of places. Mm-hmm. And then this was the last one, and it felt right. So I was ready for a change.
Okay.
And when I looked at the building, I prayed about it, and here we are today.
So what made you say, all right, I'm going to get a building. I'm going to do this for real now and be that guy?
It's just the entrepreneur in me.
Okay.
Just I like repairing cars, and I was ready to not be traveling around so much.
Right. So when did you have another location in Fort Smith?
In Fort Smith.
So
yeah.
when you got that one after this one, I guess?
I got that one before
Okay.
this one. It's still there. It's just kind of sitting idle till it hails. I use it as storage, and I do some dent work out of it. Usually people call or somebody that I know. We've lived there our whole life, and
but it's not
many generations.
Okay, so it's not as active as this location.
No.
Okay.
No,
right.
Really, it's just kind of sitting idle until it hails.
Okay.
And in between, I'll do fender bender or door dings, and or I'll do some work occasionally.
Okay.
Somebody was somewhere and it hailed while they were vacation or whatever, and I'll fix their cars or whatnot. So it's just kind of sitting idle. This has taken a lot of my time.
Right.
And I'm grateful because that means we were busy. We had something to do.
So how was it when you first started in 2018? Like, how did you get...
I knew not a soul in Prosper. Not one person.
That's awesome. I mean...
It's scary, too.
Right.
I prayed a lot about it. And I just liked the feel that the town had. It's a small town, but yet you're close to everything,
Right.
And so I kind of liked it.
So how did you get like your first customers trickling in when you opened the place?
Actually, my landlord was one of my first customers.
Okay.
Yeah. So he had some, his daughter's cars got hit with hail. And from that storm that I was down here working.
Okay.
And so I fixed his daughter's Tacoma. And then he had his work vehicles were damaged.
Okay.
So I fixed those. And just kind of got the word out a little bit. And it was a slow start. Like anything, you're not going to put a sign on the door and immediately be profitable.
Right.
That's pretty naive to think that.
Did you ever think about giving up at any point? Okay.
Yeah, it's been tough.
What made you keep going?
I don't like failure.
Okay.
Not wanting to fail. Not wanting to not be a success at it.
Right. And so you kind of like grinded it out for a few years.
Still grinding it.
Right.
It's still a grind.
So obviously it's picked up, right?
Yeah, it's been good. I feel like I'm becoming part of the community. I mean, I pretty much live here full time, except for go home on Saturday to see my wife and my son.
Do they come down ever or check things out?
They were, and then when COVID hit,
they
really didn't come down. My son has asthma, so we've kind of tried to protect him as much as we could, and everything was shut down here, so it was just easier for me to travel to them instead of them coming here. But they do come down every now and then, and we like to go to Cartland, which is no longer in business. They shut down due to the COVID, but my son loved it there. He loves the race go-karts.
Right. So how has COVID affected you guys? Has it hurt business or anything?
Yeah, it was real tough.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, March and April of last year were, nothing.
Wow.
So
how'd you get through that then?
A little bit of savings.
Okay.
I had to draw out some savings to get through that time, and we did get a little bit. We got the PPP.
Right.
So that was good for us because we were really needed. I mean, the business was zilch. Everybody's sitting at home, not knowing what's going to happen. What their job looks like. Are they going to have a job? Are they not going to have a job? So, the last thing that they're really worried about is putting a bed cover on their truck or getting their dents fixed in their car.
How close did y'all come to closing shop, you think?
Real close.
Okay. Like you actually thought about it, right?
I actually called and asked Kenny about going to work for him.
Oh, wow.
There's a guy in Bentonville. And because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, but actually my landlord's a good Christian man. And we prayed about it because I had to renew my lease.
Okay.
And that was in March, and COVID was happening.
Right.
And business was zilch. And it was a scary deal to, okay, I'm going to put myself on the line for another year.
Okay.
And conditions are not good.
Right.
It was tough, but I felt like it was the right thing to do, to keep going.
Right.
And business is coming around now. It's anything that is worth doing is not easy.
Right. So you think everything's back to normal? You're vibrant. You're growing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're feeling good.
Phone's ringing.
Right. So what's your regular day like then? Like if you come in the morning. So how does that take us through that? I guess.
Today, get up about 4:30. I got here about 5:30 in the morning. Work on paperwork and necessity stuff till about 8:30. Then I'll get out in the shop and do what needs to be done.
Do you actually help out?
Oh yeah, I still work in the shop.
All right.
Yeah, I probably will never be out of the shop.
Okay.
I enjoy fixing cars. I like the craftsmanship of it. So I don't ever see me being behind the desk 8 hours a day. It's just not me.
Oh, okay. So when they come in, people can know that you're also the guy that's going to fix the car too. That's pretty cool.
Until someday that I can't.
Right.
But I'll still be out in the shop more than I'm behind the desk.
Right.
For sure.
So when you meet customers, what do you want to tell them? Like, because when I fix cars, I'm not a car guy, so I don't really know what I'm getting myself into. You got any advice for folks who want to bring a car in, what they need to look for,
Well, when you call your insurance, when you turn in a claim, whether it be State Farm, Progressive, Geico, etc., they're going to try to get you to go to one of their shops.
Right.
And I've been on that side of the fence too when I had my body shop. But it's hard to serve two masters.
Okay.
If there's a conflict, am I going to bite the hand that's feeding me? Or am I going to look out for your best interest as a customer? They're sending me a couple $100,000 a month.
Right.
I'm probably not really going to raise a fuss about something that needs to be done that they don't want to pay for.
Right.
So, when I said you can't have two masters. You can't serve their interest and your interest.
So the insurance companies have a list of things they won't do or will do.
They have a list of shops they want that they have an agreement with, and the reason why they want you to go to their shops, the shops will have an agreement with them to not charge them for some items, or they got a hand in what is being billed. And when I say that, I mean if something needed to be replaced rather than repaired and they don't want to do it, I'm not going to raise too much of a fuss in your interest, because I'm really more worried about my interest in that they're going to keep feeding me cars.
Right.
So, you don't have to go to their shop. You have a free choice to go to whoever you want to repair it. It'd be like getting a divorce and you and your ex-wife, or you and your wife, have the same lawyer.
Okay.
Doesn't work out real well.
Right.
Usually.
Right.
There are some cases where I guess people have come to an agreement. They just want to split. But, if in a litigation, I definitely want my own lawyer.
Right.
And so that's kind of an example. You can't look out for both parties' interests.
Right.
Because most of the time, those interests don't align.
Right. And you're comfortable with looking out for the customer.
I want to look out for the customer.
Right.
The customer is the boss, not the insurance company.
Okay. So what kind of advice you give to people then when they come in and looking for the right shop, I guess? How will they know, like, if I came here, how would I know that you're not aligned with any insurance company? Do the shops tell you that, or?
When you call in the claim, the insurance company will say, well, we'd like for you to take it here.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked me, when they come in, I'll just tell them we're independent. We're here to serve you and your best interest. And a lot of times that's not in the best interest of the insurance company. They're in business to make a profit.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they make a profit is spending less money.
Right.
So
what do you think?
My job is to make profit and to take some of that money.
Right. So what do you think you guys do a little different or better than some of these guys that are beholden to the insurance companies, I guess?
We're not worried about their numbers,
mm-hmm.
their cycle times, we don't pay for this, we don't pay for that. We're worried about how the car needs to be fixed.
Okay.
What is a proper procedure?
Mm-hmm.
What the manufacturer recommends, not what the insurance company recommends, because more times than not, they're not the same.
Oh, by the way, that winter storm, how'd that hit you guys? How was that?
Well, I stayed the night here, about 3 nights. Since we're on the same grid as the police station,
mm-hmm.
we never lost electric here.
Okay.
And so I was staying in my camper, and they lost the electric over at the RV park.
Uh-huh.
And staying in an ice box
right.
wasn't too appealing, so I slept on my cot for 3 nights. I was here, never late for work.
That's awesome. Well, how did your employees fare? Like, were there people that couldn't come in? Were they?
Yeah, we had work that was already here.
Okay.
So I had plenty to do,
I
but
see.
nobody really looking for a bed cover when it was that cold, and they had busted water pipes they had to deal with and whatnot. And then the thing about it is a week after that storm, we had a hailstorm.
Wow. So it didn't hit you that bad, the cold, right?
It knocked business down for a week or so.
I see.
Just people had other, they were worried about staying warm, feeding their family,
mm-hmm.
repairing their house or their property if need be.
Right.
They were worried about life, not their truck.
Sure. So you got the business up and running, you're getting phone calls. Where do you see yourself, the next step for Blue Star and Joslin?
Well, this building here is probably because right now we're kind of sharing the
mm-hmm.
space between the two companies.
Mm-hmm.
So I originally started, when I rented this building, was for Joslin Dent Concepts.
Okay.
And I had this room in here, and I was thinking, how can I utilize it? And I have one of my best friends has a truck accessory company
mm-hmm.
back home in Fort Smith. And I talked to him about it a little bit, and I thought about it, prayed about it. And I thought, it's something it's kind of like repairing cars, it's just basically got everything that I need.
Mm-hmm.
So I started contacting the manufacturers to be a dealer for them, and started getting displays, and had a website built,
mm-hmm.
so on and so on. And now it's kind of took a life of its own.
I see.
And we're gonna going to have to find another building for the Dent company here pretty soon, I think.
So you're going to have 2 locations now, you think?
At some point.
Okay. Is it because the accessories business is kind of taking over?
Yeah.
All the space, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting kind of cramped up.
I mean, that's good news.
That's a good problem.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very grateful, very, very thankful, very appreciative to our customers. We try to do them a good job every time.
Okay.
And but we're having some growing pains, and I'm gonna have to make some decisions here before too long.
Wow. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause considering that 3 years ago, I knew nobody in Prosper.
Right.
You know.
Right. Are you gonna keep Joslin in Prosper, you think, or?
You know, there's not a lot of shop space right now in Prosper, but they're going to be building 40 acres of business, 40-acre business park right over here by us. So we'll see what happens.
Because you'll be driving all over the place now, right? You'll be driving back and forth in Dallas, and then back and forth to Arkansas, and
yeah. You know, hopefully here before too long we'll get the family down here, because this is where we want to be.
Okay.
This is where we're going to be, and we've made that decision as a family.
Okay.
And you know, we're making the sacrifice right now to be here, to retire. I mean, this is where we're going to live. I really like it down here. I've enjoyed myself. I've gotten to know quite a few people, and it's just a warm, welcoming, and a growing town.
Right. Right.
And I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad that they've accepted us. And allowed us to be part of their community.
That is wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll end it at that.
Okay.
Hopefully in the future we'll catch up with you again.
Sure.
And then we'll see where you are. Maybe you'll have several locations, hopefully.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
That's right. So, but thank you for coming out and doing the podcast.
You're welcome.
Sure.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much, Robert.